Okay, ladies, so now we're going to get ready and work on our quirky figure. Let's go to Photoshop. Once you go to Photoshop, you're going to go into File, Open, and I want you to find that image. It should be in your USB, so you'll click USB. Mine is located in the MDC file, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click in the projects, and I'll go here to Quirky Figure. It's a TIF. But what I want to do, I want to change this TIF into a JPEG. I'm not sure if it's going to let me do it, but let's see. So I'll go back to File, Save As. Let's see if I can click on, I don't see an option for JPEG. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save it as a Photoshop image. So you'll see Quirky Figure PSD. You'll see it up here where it says Save As. And then I'm going to go down to where it says Save. Since I already have one saved, I'll click Replace. If you don't, that's fine. So now I have something to work with. So I kind of want to work on the contrast to make it a little darker. Now what I want you to do is make sure that you have your navigator here. If it's not there, you're going to click on Window and click next to the box that says Navigator. If you had a navigator screen up and it closed, you're going to go back to Window and click Navigator. With that being said, you'll be able to navigate your screen, go in and go out. You guys know that by now. So, okay, so this is where the work comes in. You should have your layers. Your layers tab, you want that. If it closes, open that up. Now this is just the background layer. There's really no layer to work with. So since this is a PSD, try to move that around. Let's see if we can move that baby around a little bit. And click Control C if you have a PC. If not, if it's Mac, Command C. And then you'll click Command V for paste. Let's see if it pastes a separate one. It didn't paste a separate one. So what we're going to go in and do, we're going to get ready to do a magnetic lasso. And basically trace her. So of course we know what to do. We're going to go to our magnetic lasso. It looks as though I need to click on my layer. So click there where it says background. Make sure you click that to make sure that it's active. I'm going to go to my magnetic lasso. And again, for some reason, it won't let me go in. But I'm going to see what the reason is. Why can't I highlight it? Same thing. Let's try this. Go up to Image, click Mode, and go down to Grayscale. Once you see Size Ratio, click OK. So now we should be able to go in and use our magnetic lasso. So I'm going to come down just a little bit, make my screen a little bigger. So when I select her and cut her out, I won't miss anything. Okay, so I'm going to go to my magnetic lasso and cut her out. Guys, you know how this goes. Just tracing around her. It may take a minute, but you guys can can do it. And remember, whatever excess space you leave, you can always go in and erase it. We're just going to try to highlight whatever we can to cut her out. So what we're basically doing with her is just filling in certain areas of her body with color. If we wanted to add print in her clothes or even in her skin, you could give her a printed skin. You know, it's a quirky figure, it's art, so skin, you can play around. That's basically what we're doing. So instead of rendering by hand, you're going to use Photoshop. Don't worry about all of that stuff popping up. Just continue to try to trace around her. Guys, of course, if you figure out a better way to get her quickly, like your quick selection wand tool, you can try that. But if it doesn't work, try Old Faithful magnetic lasso. It takes a little more time, but it's easier to get everything that you need. It's a little bit more helpful. Okay, so she looks like she's all selected. Because the file is large, it's going to take a little while for the progress to go fast. So we see that she's selected. Of course, I'm going to use Edit, Copy. I'm going to create a new file. So you're going to go to File, New. You're going to change your pixels to inches. Pixels to inches. The height is too large, so let's try this height. 14 inches with 11. So this should be a little smaller. Click OK. Now you're going to go up to Edit, Paste, and now our baby is there. Now the thing is, she looks like she's cut off, but the fact that the canvas is smaller than the image, you have to just shrink her a little bit. So we'll go over here to the Move tool. Then you're going to right click on, or actually you can click where it says Layer 1, just to make sure that she's highlighted. Of course, click your Control T. If it's a Mac, you want to do Command T. You're going to press Shift and bring her in. You want her to fit on your page. And if you want to make the canvas a little larger, you can do so. My screen may look a little different, but these are the same steps that you want to use. Of course, you can always zoom in. Now my hand, I've taken my hand off the Shift key. Now I'm going to press Enter. Okay, so let's zoom in, get a little closer to her. You can use the navigator tool just to go around. My screen may be different, but she's still there. Make it a little bigger. And I'll pull this down. Maybe zoom out. It doesn't matter, but as long as you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go into different areas to fill in certain things, just to show you some quick tips and tools on how to fill in. Now she's a little light for me, so I want to make the black and the pencil lines a little darker. So let's see what we can do. Let's find okay, so you're going to click Image, then you're going to go to Adjustments, click Brightness and Contrast. Once you do that, you can begin to change the brightness and the contrast of your image. So you play around with it to your liking. I'm going to switch the brightness over to the right. It's fading too much for me, so I'm going to take this back over to the left. So right now my brightness is about -95. My contrast, I'm going to shift it, play around with it until I get it to where I want. I really don't see too much of a change. Maybe if I take it over here to the right, that's okay. So for now, this will work. Let me try that again, see if I can make a few modifications. I'll use my brightness again. And you want to make sure that your preview is clicked. That way you can see what's going on before you actually choose OK. So once again, that looks even better. Yeah. So I'll keep that there. Let me try contrast just to see what happens. Nothing's really happening, but hey, I'll leave it here and click OK. So you can move use the hand to go up and down and search the navigation just to have a better view of your picture, your illustration. So now I'm going to fill to give you an example of how to fill. Now, if I use the wand to try to highlight it, that certain area may not be selected alone. I see some empty spaces, so the entire picture may be highlighted, but let's see what's going to happen. So I don't want that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to click select, then deselect. So unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to highlight the area with my magnetic lasso that I want to fill. Remember, when you have open spaces and the spaces or your illustrations or your shapes aren't closed, you may end up highlighting the entire picture. So I don't want to have to go through that. I'm going to double click it. So that's highlighted. Now I'm going to choose the color. So I'll go down to the little box, the foreground box. See that little pop-up that says set foreground color. So I'm going to click a color that I like. I think I want to try a deep blue. So I'll go down here. Maybe this blue is nice. I'll try that. I'll click on, well, it's still in grayscale, so everything else is looking gray. Let me see what I can do to come out of that gray scale. The reason that I know it's still in grayscale is because this turned gray when it should be blue. So let me make sure that I go to, okay, so where it says mode, you want to choose CMYK. Click flatten, it doesn't matter. Let's see what happens. Click OK. So we should still be good. I don't know. It may not be a layer anymore, but it's okay. So now let's fill. Great. We're going to deselect. And it looks like we don't have a layer. Once we flattened it, it took the layer away. But it's okay if we have to go back and I'm going to try to move it around again. Yeah, the layer has been locked. So let's see if we can unlock it. There's a lock pad next to background. Let's see if we can click that and what happens. Let's see. Okay, nothing happens. Click there, nothing happens. It's okay. We can always go back at the end and trace her out again. But the main thing that you're learning right now is how to fill. So go back to the magnetic lasso and just start to highlight all of the different areas that you may want to fill. Taking your magnetic lasso, ladies and or gentlemen, you know how to, highlight that from our tutorials in class. I want to go a darker blue. I'm clicking on my paint bucket, make sure that that's highlighted, and bam. So now her lips are filled with a dark, a vampy type of blue, like a midnight blue. And I'll see if it's anywhere else on her body I want to create that blue color. As of right now, nowhere. Let me just try this piece of the shoe. And after this, we'll do a print so you can see how to actually create a print. You're going to learn how to create your own print as well as fill it in. So that's highlighted. I'm clicking on my paint bucket, making sure that's clicked, and I'll just dump the blue paint in there. And now I'm going to deselect. So if you go to the navigator, let me move this over so you can see the navigator. Okay. I'm going to move the hand over the navigator. You'll see what parts are filled in. So now she has on a pair of capri tights. So what I want to do, instead of filling in a plain color, I want to try to create a print. So what I can do, I can go to the internet, Safari, whatever you're using, Firefox, whatever. I'm just going to Google and see if I can find some images. It doesn't matter right now. I really want something pretty. But for the sake of the lecture, I'll just find something cute. So maybe free fashion prints. Let's see what pops up. I'll click on images. And all of this stuff comes up. And I really don't want to see any of that. Let's try this one. Let's see what's going on with this. Forgive me for the slowness of my computer. Okay. So that's taking a long time. So, okay, I was almost going to get out of there. Let's see what happens. Click on this print if I can get back up to it. Where did it go? You know what? Let me try this. Let's see if I can save it as. It's taking forever, so let me get out of there. I don't want to prolong the time. Let's click this one. Okay, so I'm going to, won't allow me to do that. Go back to another. So sometimes you'll have these problems, maybe even depending on if you have Google or Google Chrome or something like that. Maybe that will make things a little bit easier for you. Okay, this one, no, we don't want that. It's Pinterest. Nothing Pinterest. Try anything but Pinterest. Okay, you know what? Let me just click on this one. I'm going to turn this into a print. So you're going to right click, save image as. I'll click desktop. No, I don't want a screenshot. So let me get out of there. I really tried my best to stay away from Pinterest. This is why. So ladies, search until you find the best one. I'm going to use Firefox. Let's see. So now I'm getting ready to take it to another level since it's taking me through all of this. I'll use a face to create a print. Okay, so here's one. Let's see if this works out okay. My computer's dragging a little. So let's see if I can save it. Okay, save as. Desktop. Save. Okay. So that took forever, but we're here. We're back on track. So now I'm going to click her tights and we'll see if at least, I'm sorry, before we go there, what you do, you open up, you go to file, you click open, you click on your desktop, then I'm going to click on the image that I just saved, which is Old Outline Lady. Okay, so I pretty much like her. I'm going to take the box, the crop tool, and I'm going to maybe just crop the area in which I want to make a print from. So I just want to use this section of her face. So you should see the little marquee box going around. You're going to click edit, go down to define pattern. Once you do that, we'll put old lady face. Click OK. So I'm going to go back to my Quirky tool, magnetic lasso. It's highlighted. I'm going to edit, fill. You're going to click this box here. It says use, contents use. You're going to click where it says pattern. Where it says custom pattern, you're going to click the little arrow, click the lady, click OK. Let's see what happens. And now she's there. So I have a cute little pair of tights. I'm going to highlight this area because I want that same print in this section. It may continue on. The computer kind of picks up where to fill it. It'll kind of continue the pattern for you. Fill. Everything is already in place, but I'll show you again. You'll click here, click pattern, custom pattern, click the one that you want, which is the face, click OK. And now she's filled in that area again. I actually like this pattern, so there's nowhere else I'm gonna put it, and then I'll click deselect. So you've basically just gotten quick tutorials on how you can define a pattern, use that pattern to fill in a certain section. You can also do skin. So I'll show you two things that you can do with skin. You can use a solid color for skin, or you can use a gradient. Gradient may be a little advanced. It takes time, but this is Erykah Badu. Of course, since it's a Quirky model, her face is Erykah Badu, but her hands are from different places. One of her hands are from different places, so different colors. But I'll use a skin tone that's closer to hers. So what I want to do, I kind of want to highlight the area. I'm going to work on the hand. Back to magnetic lasso. Okay, so this is highlighted. I'm not going to fill it in with the normal color. I'm going to use a gradient, which means it can be half dark, half light, different shades. But we're looking for brown. So the icon where the paint bucket is, you're going to click on that, and you're going to click gradient tool. Since I have the gradient tool clicked or highlighted, I'm going to go down to my foreground color, and I'm going to look for that brown that I want for a skin tone, like a light beige. So somewhere in this area, I can bring it down. This is pretty close to it, so I can move it over maybe somewhere like there, and I'll click OK. Once I click OK, I can go here and click in either one of these boxes. This one is good. So it's giving a gradient view. It says foreground to transparent. Let's see if I click that. Foreground to background. But I want foreground to transparent. Let's see. Actually, I'll click this one. Foreground to background. So when you begin to move your pointer, the pointer finger off the color, you're going to see this little, I guess like a bullseye. You see it across point. You can click anywhere in the section and press down on your mouse, left click, and you're going to drag it to another endpoint. Once you do that, you'll see what happens. So since I did that, it shows where the darker side is to the lighter side. So up here would be my brown, and the bottom it fades. Depending on where you place the point, start the point and end the point, will change. So let's see. Now it changed a bit. It's a little darker all the way over here. And then white here. Let's see if I start my point off here and bring the line down here. What happens to the direction of the color? Yeah, it changes just a little, not too much, but that's basically what that does. And I'm going to click deselect. So now I'm going to choose the other hand. The other hand, I won't use a gradient tool. I'll use the regular paint bucket. And now the other hand, it's just going to be filled with that brown color. So I'll go back to my magnetic lasso, highlight a part of the hand that I want to fill. I can always go back in and paint her nails a different color. Now I'm going to click on my paint bucket, fill her in, fill the hand in. Now it's fully brown. And I can always go back in and paint the nails, go over her nails. I'm going to finish up these two fingers. That's highlighted. Paint bucket, drop. Same thing will be for this finger. And you don't have to use, if you want to change the color of her hand, she could add a purple hand, a green hand. You can change that. It doesn't have to be the same. Remember, it's fashion and it's quirky. So there you have it. Just little steps and tools on how to fill, how to create patterns. And yeah, so what you can do now is you can go around. I'm going to click select, deselect. Now, since I don't have a layer for her, I can cut her out. You know how we do it. You can actually go in. Let me show you a new way. Go in here where it says create new layer. You're going to click on that. Now you're going to click on this one and you're going to go back to your magnetic lasso. Let me try something again. I'm sorry, ladies. So click here. Now you go back to the figure. I'm actually going to try this. You know what, girls? Just disregard what I did because I'm going to take you through a long route, and I don't want to have to do that. But what you can do is go around her like we always do. Use the magnetic lasso to cut her out. And once she's selected fully, once she's highlighted, let's say this was her entire body, highlighted and selected, you'll go to edit, copy, or Command C for Apple, Control C for Apple. Disregard this message. You're going to copy, open up a new file. I'll just click inches. Okay. Once the new file, the new sheet or file is open, you'll click paste. You'll go to edit and paste, and once you do that, your new figure would be here. So let's see if it went through, but I don't think anything was selected. So the one that's filled isn't selected. I'll step back. Let me go back to it. Maybe I have to do it just so you can see it happen. Click select, deselect. It's cute this small. So let me I'm going to click on her. Make sure that this one is active. Magnetic lasso. Now go around and begin your highlighting. And you can actually fill every little piece. I chose big spaces to fill, but you can go in and highlight even the smallest piece, or the smallest space in your quirky figure, and fill it in, whether it's a solid color or a print. It may not be perfect for now, but of course you guys know how to go in and erase all of the excess drawing that you don't want. You can cut it, crop it, use the eraser tool, get close to it, Control plus to zoom in, use the eraser tool and erase as close to the edge as possible. It looks like I almost took off a piece of her fingernail, but it's okay. So she's highlighted, ready to go. Of course, you know that's when you can do your Control or Command C. But instead, we'll go to Edit, Copy, File, New, Inches. Let's see what happens. You'll go to Edit, Paste, and now she's there. So you can fill the background if you want. You can actually, what I want you to do, hit the eye. That way she's gone. Click on the background. You can fill the background with any color you want. So click the paint bucket tool. You'll click the foreground color. Choose maybe, I'm going to choose this pretty blue. Click OK. I'm going to fill this baby in. Now that's filled in. Click on the eye. Bam, now she's there. Now you can actually move her around a bit. That's locked, so make sure you click the layer or right click, choose her, and move her around. And there you have it. All of this you can erase out with no problem. So girls, use the little bit of knowledge that you have, or you actually gained a lot of knowledge. Your skills are growing, and or gentlemen if you're watching, and just play around with the tools and turn it into your liking. This is just a close-up view of what we have. Whatever your work is, you can save it as a PSD, so you can always go back and work on it. File, save as, wherever you want to put it, desktop, wherever. But where it says format, you'll make sure that PSD or Photoshop is selected. You click save. Once that comes up, or if it comes up, you just click OK, and you're good to go.